For every orange Kiptoo gets, Onyango gets twice as many, while Dinga gets 4 oranges less than Onyango. 96 oranges were given to them. How many oranges did Dinga get? Our key area is Onyango gets twice the oranges Kiptoo gets. Dinga also gets 4 oranges less than Onyango. Solution. Our first step will be forming an equation. We have Kiptoo, Onyango, and Dinga. Let's say Kiptoo gets X oranges. Onyango in this case gets twice the number of oranges Kiptoo gets. Therefore, Onyango gets 2 into brackets X to give us 2X. Dinga gets 4 oranges less than the oranges Onyango gets. In this case, Dinga gets 2x minus 4. We are also told that they shared 96 oranges. We want to search for the number of oranges Dinga got. For us to search for the number of oranges got, we are going to form an equation, then we equalize it with the total number of oranges. In this case, it will be x plus 2x plus 2x minus 4 is equals to the total number of oranges, which is 96. We can now collect our like terms together. We have x plus 2x plus 2x. This will give us 5x minus 4 is equals to 96. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. This for us a subtraction sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be plus 4. Therefore, 5x is equals to 96 plus 4, which gives us 100. Let's search for the value of x. 5x is equals to 100. We are going to divide both sides with 5 to remain with x. By 5, 1, by 5, 1. By 5, 1, by 5, 20. X is equals to 20. Therefore, Kiptoo got 20 oranges. We are asked the number of oranges Dinga got. Remember, the equation of Dinga is 2x minus 4. Therefore, Dinga got 2 into brackets the number of oranges Kiptoo got, which is 20 into brackets minus 4. When we open our brackets, 2 times 20 will give us 40 minus 4. 40 minus 4 will give us 36. Therefore, Dinga got 36 oranges. Our correct answer is 36 and our correct choice is A. In a kiosk, a pen costs twice as much as a pencil and an exercise book costs 3 times as much as the pen. Amina bought 2 pens for 4 shillings. She also bought 2 pencils and 3 exercise books. How much did she pay all together? Solution. We are told that Amina bought 2 pens for 4 shillings. Therefore, we are going first to search for the cost of 1 pen. If 2 pens cost 4 shillings, what about 1 pen? We are going to cross multiply. Therefore, it will be 1 times 4, we divide with 2. The price of 1 pen was 2 shillings. We are also told that a pen costs twice the price of a pencil. For us to get the price of 1 pencil, it will be the price of the pen, which is 2 shillings, we divide with 2. Therefore, 1 pencil costs 1 shilling. In this case, 1 pencil, we are saying that costs 1 shilling. 1 pen, on the other hand, we are told that was 2 shillings. We are also told that the price of 1 exercise book is 3 times the price of 1 pen. Therefore, 1 exercise book will be 3 into the price of the pen, which is 2. 1 exercise book went for 6 shillings. We are told that Amina bought 2 pencils. He also bought 3 exercise books. We are asked the total is spent to buy the items all together. We are told 1 pencil went for 1 shilling and she bought 2 pencils. If 1 pencil costed 1 shilling, what about 2 pencils? It will be 2 times 1 over 1. This is going to give us 2 shillings. Remember, he bought 2 pens for 4 shillings. And he also bought 3 exercise books. 1 exercise book went for 6 shillings. If 1 exercise book went for 6 shillings and she bought 3 exercise books, what was the total cost for the exercise books? We are going to cross multiply. 3 times 6 will give us 18 shillings. We can now combine the total price of the 3 items. We have the price of the pens, which was 4 shillings, plus the price of the pencils, which was 2 shillings, plus the price of the exercise books, which was 18. 4 plus 2 plus 18 will give us 24 shillings. Therefore, Amina spent 24 shillings. Our correct answer is A. The length of the base of a triangle is 4x plus 6 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters. If the area of the triangle is 40 centimeters squared, what is the actual length of the base of the triangle? Solution. We are first going to draw the triangle. We are told that the base is 4x plus 6 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters. The area in this case is equals to 40 centimeters squared. The formula for searching for the area of a triangle is equals to half base height. This 40 centimeters squared, which is the area, is equals to half into base times height. Therefore, 40 centimeters squared is equals to half into brackets the value of base, which is 4x plus 6 into brackets times 5. We can open the brackets. Half into brackets 4x plus 6. When we open our brackets, it will be half times 4x to give us 2x plus half times 6 to give us 3. 40 centimeters squared is equals to 2x plus 3 into brackets times 5. Remember, this is the base and this is the height. We can proceed now as follows. 40 centimeters squared is equals to 5 into brackets 2x plus 3. We can now open the brackets. 5x times 2x will give us 10x plus 5 times 3 is going to give us 15. Therefore, this 40 centimeters squared is equivalent to 10x plus 15. We want to search for the value of x. Therefore, we are going to remain with 10x in one side and we take this 15 to the other side. Remember, this 15 as an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 15. In this case, 10x is equals to 40 minus 15. 10x is equals to 25. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide both sides with 10. X is equals to 25 divided with 10. Our x is equals to 2.5. This is the same as 2.5. We are asked the actual length of the base. Remember, the base is represented by the expression of 4x plus 6. And we have searched for the value of x. In this case, the base will be 4 into brackets the value of x, which is 2.5 plus 6. When we open our brackets, 4 times 2.5 is going to give us 10. Therefore, the base will be 10 plus 6. Our base in this case is equals to 16. Our correct answer is 16 and the correct choice is D. 3 cars, 2 matatus and a bus were used to transport pupils to an agricultural show. Each car transported 5 pupils. Each matatu transported 5 times as many pupils as one car. The bus transported 3 times as many pupils as one matatu. What was the total number of pupils transported to the show? Solution. The vehicles used, we had 3 cars, 2 matatus and 1 bus. From there, we can proceed to search for the number of pupils transported by each vehicle. We are told that one car transported 5 pupils. One matatu transported 5 times as many pupils as those transported by one car. Therefore, one matatu transported 5 into brackets the number of pupils transported by one car, which is 5. When we open our brackets, it will be 5 times 5. This is going to give us 25. Therefore, one matatu transported 25 pupils. We are also told that one bus transported 3 times the number of pupils transported by one matatu. Therefore, one bus transported 3 into brackets the number of one matatu, which is 25. When we open our brackets, it will be 3 times 25. This is going to give us 75 pupils. From there, we can search the total number of pupils transported to the show. The number of cars were 3 cars. We had 2 matatus and 1 bus. In this case, one car transported 5 pupils, and the number of cars were 3 cars. If one car transported 5 pupils, what about the 3 cars? It is going to be 3 times 5. This is going to give us 15 pupils. The number of matatus used were 2 matatus. One matatu transported 25 pupils. If one matatu transported 25 pupils, what about 2 matatus? We are going to cross multiply. 25 times 2 is going to give us 50 pupils. We are also told that the bus was 1. One bus therefore transported 75 pupils. From there, we can combine the total number of pupils transported by each vehicle to give us the sum of the pupils all together. It will be 15, which is the number transported by the car, plus 50, which is the number transported by the matatu, plus 75, the number transported by bus. This is going to give us a sum of 140 pupils. Therefore, the total number of pupils transported to the shore were 140. Our correct answer is D. Saadia bought 3 books and 2 pens. the cost of her book was half that of a pen. He paid a total of 45 shillings and 50 cents. What was the cost of the pen? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that the cost of her book was half that of her pen. Therefore, if the pen went for X shillings, the cost of her book will be X over 2. He also paid a total amount of 45 shillings and 50 cents. And the items which he bought 3 books and 2 pens. We can now proceed to solution. Remember, he bought 3 books and 2 pens. We are told that the cost of her book was half the cost of her pen. Therefore, let pen be represented with X. Her book in this case will be X over 2, which is the same as her half X. This her half X is also the same as 0.5x. From there, we can proceed to search for the price of the items he bought. Remember, he bought 3 books and 2 pens. If a pen went for X shillings, what about 2 pens? 1 pen, remember, went for X shillings. What about 2 pens? It will be 2 times X. This is going to give us 2x. Therefore, pen went for 2x shillings. Remember, 1 book in this case went for a half X shillings. This a half X is the same as 0.5 shillings. If 1 book went for 0.5x shillings, what about 3 books? We are going to cross multiply. This is going to be 3 times 0.5. This is going to give us 1.5x. We are told that he paid a total of 45 and 50 cents. 45 shillings and 50 cents. Therefore, we are going to come up with an expression. In this case, our expression will be 2x, which is the cost for the pens, plus 1.5x, which is the cost for the book, is equals to 45 shillings and 50 cents. 2x plus 1.5x shillings is going to give us 3.5x, is equivalent to 45 shillings and 50 cents. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide both sides with 3.5. Therefore, our x will be 45 shillings and 50 cents. We divide with 3.5. In this case, x is equals to 13 shillings. And remember, the x was the cost of 1 pen. Therefore, the cost of her pen is equals to 13 shillings. Our correct answer is A. At a sport meeting, the number of women was 100. The number of boys was 3 times that of women and 80 more that of men. The number of girls was 20 more than that of men. What was the total number of people at the meeting? We are first going to look at the key areas. We are told that the number of boys was 3 times that of women. This number of boys was also 80 more than that of men. Then finally, the number of girls was 20 more than that of men. Solution. The meeting was attended by women, boys, men, and girls. We are told that women were 100. the number of boys was 3 times the number of women. Also, the number of men was 80 less than that of boys. Therefore, the number of men will be the number of boys, which is 300 minus 80. This will give us 220. We are told that the number of girls was 20 more that of men. For us to get the number of girls, we are going to take the number of men, which is 220. We had 20. Therefore, the number of girls was 240. We can now arrange them as follows. Women were 100, boys were 300, men were 220, while girls were 240. We are asked the total number of people who attended the meeting. For us to take the total number of the people, we are going to add them all together. Therefore, it will be 100 plus 300 plus 220 plus 240. 100 plus 300 will give us 400. 400 plus 220 will give us 620. 620 plus 240. This will give us 860. The total number of people who attended the meeting were 860. Our correct answer is C. Mother spent 15 shillings to buy an exercise book, a pencil, and a ruler. The cost of her pencil was a third the cost of an exercise book. The cost of her ruler was 1 shilling more than the cost of the exercise book. How much did the pencil cost? Solution. We are first going to come up with an expression to indicate the 3 items which mother bought. Mother bought an exercise book, a pencil, and a ruler. Let the exercise book be represented with X. In this case, the cost of the pencil was a third into brackets the cost of the exercise book. Therefore, it was a third into X, which will give us a third X. The cost of a ruler was 1 shilling more than the cost of an exercise book. Therefore, the cost of the ruler was the cost of the exercise book, which is X plus 1. In this case, ruler costed X plus 1 shillings. From there, we can form an expression. X plus a third X plus 1 should give us 15 shillings. We have our like terms here, X and X. X plus X will give us 2X plus a third X plus 1 is equivalent to 15 shillings. We can add 2X and a third X. The LCM there will be 3. 3 when we divide with 1 we are going to get 3, and when we multiply with 2X we are going to get 6X. Plus 3 when we divide with 3 we are going to get 1, and when we multiply with 1X we are going to get X. Therefore, 6X plus X will give us 7 over 3X. In this case, our equation will be 7 over 3X plus 1 is equivalent to 15 shillings. We want to search for the value of X. Therefore, we are going to remain with 7 over 3X in one side, and we take 1 to the next side. Therefore, this one has an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 1. In this case, it will be 7 over 3x is equals to 15 minus 1. 7 over 3x is equals to 14. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to multiply both sides with the reciprocal of 7 over 3, which is 3 over 7. Therefore, it will be 7 over 3 x is equals to 14 times 3 over 7 times 3 over 7. X is equals to by 7 1 by 7 2. The value of x is equals to 6. Remember, x here is the exercise book. We are asked the price of the pencil. The pencil is represented with a third x. Therefore, the price of the pencil will be a third into brackets the value of x, which is 6. We are now going to open our brackets. A third times 6. This is going to give us 2 shillings. Our correct answer is A. Akinyi has Y bananas. This is 3 times as many bananas as Waithera has. They have 36 bananas all together. Which of the following equations correctly represents the information given? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Akinyi has Y bananas. These bananas are also 3 times as many as bananas of Waithera. For us to get Waithera's bananas, we are going to get Akinyi's bananas, which is Y we divide with 3. Solution. We have Akinyi and Waithera. We are told that Akinyi has Y bananas. This Akinyi's bananas is 3 times the bananas of Waithera. For us to get Waithera's bananas, we are going to take Akinyi's bananas, which is Y, we divide with 3. Therefore, Waithera's bananas is Y over 3. The total number of bananas which they had is 36. For us to find for the equation, we are going to take Akinyi's bananas, which is Y. We had Waithera's bananas, which is Y over 3. Then we equalize with the total number of bananas, which is 36. Therefore, the equation which can represent the information is Y plus Y over 3 is equals to 36. Our correct answer is D. Omolo, Kiprono, and Kamam picked mangoes for sale. Omolo picked 150 mangoes. Kiprono picked half as many as Omolo, while Kaman picked 100 less than what both Omolo and Kiprono picked. If the mangoes were sold at 50 cents each, how much money did the 3 boys get all together? Solution. We have Omolo, Kiprono, and Kaman. We are told that Omolo picked 150 mangoes. Kiprono picked half of what Omolo picked. Therefore, Kiprono picked 150 divided with 2. This is going to give us 75 mangoes. Kaman, in this case, we are told that he picked 100 less the total number of mangoes which was picked by Omolo and Kiprono. For us to get Kamam's mangoes, we are first going to take the sum of Omolo's mangoes. We had Kiprono's mangoes, then we subtract 100. In this case, it will be 150 plus 75. This is going to give us 225, and when we subtract 100, we are going to remain with 125 mangoes. Therefore, Kamam picked 125 mangoes. We are asked how much money the 3 boys got all together. For us to get the amount of money, we are first going to add the total number of mangoes. We have 150 plus 75 plus 125. This is going to give us a total amount of 350 mangoes. We are told that one mango was sold at 50 cents. If one mango was sold at 50 cents, what about the total mangoes, which is 350, were sold at how much cents? We are going to cross multiply. It will be 350 mangoes times 50 cents divided with 1. When we multiply 350 times 50, we are going to get 17,500 cents. Remember, 1 shilling is equivalent to 100 cents. For us to search the amount of shillings, we are going to say that if 1 shilling is equivalent to 100 cents, what about the 17,500 cents will be equivalent to how many shillings? We are therefore going to cross multiply. 17,500 times 1 shilling over 100 cents. 0 will cancel with the 2 zeros. Therefore, they got a total amount of 175 shillings. The amount of shillings they got all together was 175 shillings. Our correct answer is B. A fundraising function was attended by men, women, and children. There were 500 men and twice as many women. A total of 37,500 shillings was raised. If each man contributed 20 shillings and each woman contributed 15 shillings, what was the amount contributed by the children? Solution. We have men, children, and women. We are told that men who attended were 500. Women were twice the number of men. Therefore, women were 2 into brackets the number of men. In this case, women were 1,000. We are also told that they all contributed a total amount of 37,500 shillings. In this case, each man contributed 20 shillings. Every woman contributed 15 shillings. We can now proceed to search for the contribution of men. One man contributed 20 shillings and the total number of men was 500. We are therefore going to cross multiply. It will be 500 times 20 over 1. This is going to give us an amount of 10,000 shillings. Every woman contributed 15 shillings. The total women who attended the fundraising were 1,000. Therefore, we are going to cross multiply. It will be 1,000 times 15 over 1. This is going to give us a total amount of 15,000 shillings. Remember, the total contribution comprised of men plus women plus children, which was 37,500 shillings. We want to search for the contribution of children. Therefore, it will be the contribution of men plus the contribution of women. Then we subtract from the total contribution, which is 37,500 shillings. In this case, men contributed 10,000 shillings while women contributed 15,000 shillings plus the contribution of children, which we don't have, is equivalent to the total contribution, which is 7,500 shillings. 10,000 plus 15,000 will give us 25,000 shillings plus the contribution of children is equals to 37,500 shillings. We want to search for the contribution of children. This 25,000 shillings has an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 25,000 shillings. Therefore, the contribution of children was 12,500 shillings. Children in this case contributed 12,000 shillings and 500. the correct answer is B. What is the size of angle XZY in the triangle below? Solution. Remember, interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, this angle plus this angle plus this angle should give us 180 degrees. In our case, we have 2p minus 30 plus 2p plus 30 plus p should give us a sum of 180 degrees. This is the interior angles of the triangle we are talking about. From there, we can collect the like terms together. Two p plus 2p plus p minus 30 plus 30 is equals to 180 degrees. 2p plus 2p plus p will give us 5p minus 30 plus 30 is equals to 180 degrees. Remember, we want to search for the value of p. This is a debt of that shillings, and when you pay with that shillings, you are going to remain with 0. Therefore, it will be 5p is equals to 180 degrees. Since we want to search for the value of p, we are going to divide both sides with 5. 5p is equals to 180 degrees. We divide with 5 both sides. Our p is equals to 36. Remember, we are asked the size of the angle XZY. Remember, here where we have Z is where we have the p. Therefore, the value of that angle will be 36 degrees. In this case, angle XZY is equals to 36 degrees. Our correct answer is 36 and the correct choice is C. A certain meeting was attended by 1,835 people. The number of men was twice that of children and 15 less than that of women. How many women attended the meeting? We can first look at our key areas. We are told that the number of men was twice that of children. This number of men was 15 less than that of women. For us to get the number of women, we are going to take the number of men we had 15. We can now proceed to solution. The meeting was attended by men, children, and women. Let children be represented with X. Men in this case are twice the number of children. Therefore, men will be equivalent to 2x. We are also told that these men who attended were 15 less than the number of women. For us to get women, we are going to take the number of men we had 15. Therefore, women will be 2x plus 15. We are told that the meeting, the total number of people who attended was 1,835. From there, we are asked the number of women who attended the meeting. For us to get the number of women, we are first going to take the expressions of both men, children, and women. We equalize with the total number of people who attended the meeting, which was 1,835. Therefore, it will be 2x plus x plus 2x plus 15 is equals to the total number, which is 1,835. From there, we can collect our like terms together. We have 2x plus x plus 2x plus 15 is equals to 1,835. 2x plus x plus 2x will give us 5x plus 15 is equals to 1,835. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. We are going to remain with 5x in one side and we take 15 to the next side. Therefore, it will be 5x is equals to 1835 minus 15. We have subtracted because this 15 has an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will change to be minus 15. 5x in this case is equals to 1835 minus 15. 5x is equals to 1820. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide both sides with 5 to remain with x. Our x is equals to 364. From there, we are asked how many women attended the meeting. We are going to take the expression representing women, which is 2x plus 15. We search for the total number of women. We have found that the value of x is 364. Therefore, it will be 2 into brackets x, which is 364 plus 15. 2 times 364 will give us 728. When we add 15, we are going to get 743. Therefore, the number of women who attended the meeting was 743. Our correct answer is 743 and the correct choice is D. The cost of her GHC book was X shillings while that of Kiswahili was 5 shillings less. A mathematics book cost a quarter of the total cost of GHC and Kiswahili books. Limara spent 300 shillings to buy the 3 books. Which one of the following equations correctly represents the information given? Solution. We are told that Rimara bought a GHC book, a Kiswahili book, and a mathematics book. The cost of the GHC book was X. The cost of Kiswahili book was 5 less the price of the GHC book. Therefore, the Kiswahili book was the price of GHC, which is X minus 5. The price of mathematics book was a quarter the total price of the GHC book and the Kiswahili book. We can now proceed to search for the cost of the mathematics book. In this case, the mathematics book will be a quarter into brackets the sum of the GHC book plus the Kiswahili book, which is X plus X minus 5. Therefore, the mathematics book will be a quarter into brackets 2x minus 5. In this case, the mathematics book will be 2x minus 5 over 4. We are told that Limara spent 300 shillings to purchase the 3 books. We can now search for the equation. For us to search for the equation, we are going to combine the 3 expressions of the 3 books. Therefore, it will be x plus x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5 over 4 is equals to the total price, which is 300 shillings. We can collect the like terms here. We have x and x. Therefore, 2x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5 over 4 is equals to the total price, which is 300. Our equation therefore will be 2x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5 over 4 is equals to 300. Our correct answer is B. Mumo is 2 years older than Temu and 3 years younger than Deti. The sum of their ages is 64 years. If Mumo's age is M, which one of the equations below can be used to find Mumo's age? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Mumo's age is M. Also, this Mumo is 2 years older than Temu. For us to get Temu's age, we are going to take Mumo's years, we subtract with 2. Also, this Mumo is 3 years younger than Deti. For us to get Deti's age, we are going to take Mumo's years, we had 3. We can now proceed to solution. We have Mumo, Temu, and Deti. We are told that Mumo is M years. Also, Mumo is 2 years older than Temu. Therefore, Temu is M minus 2. This Mumo is 3 years younger than Deti. This means that Deti exceeds Mumo with 3 years. Therefore, Deti will be the age of Mumo, we had 3. The sum of their ages is 64 years. We can now search for the equation which can be used to find for Mumo's age. For us to search for that equation, we are going to combine the 3 expressions, which is M plus M minus 2 plus M plus 3 is equals to 64 years. We can now collect our like terms together. We have M plus M plus M minus 2 plus 3 is equals to 64. M plus M plus M will give us 3M minus 2 plus 3 is equals to 64. This debt of 2 shillings can be paid with 3 shillings to remain with 1 shilling. Therefore, the equation will be 3M plus 1 is equals to 64. The equation which can be used to represent Mumo's age will be 3M plus 1 is equals to 64. Our correct answer is A. 3 boys contribute some money to buy a textbook. Onyango contributed 1/4, Rono contributed 1/3, and Joroge contributed 1/6 of the price. They then found that 90 shillings was still needed in order to buy the book. What was the price of the book? Solution. We have Onyango, Rono, and Joroge. We are told that Onyango contributed 1/4 of the shillings. Rono contributed 1/3, while Joroge contributed 1/6 of the total price. We are first going to take the sum of Onyango and Rono. This sum is where we are going to find that the denominator of the fraction will help us to search for the whole fraction. Therefore, it will be 1/4 plus 1/3. The LCM is 12. 12 when we divide with 4 will give us 3, and when multiply with 1 we are going to get 3. Plus 12 when we divide with 3 we are going to get 4, and when multiply with 1 we are going to get 4. 3 plus 4 will give us 7/12. In this case, Onyango and Rono, the fraction was 7/12. Remember here where we have 7/12, this 12 as the denominator can help us to search the whole fraction. Therefore, our whole fraction will be 12/12. In this case, we are told that Joroge contributed 1/6 of the price. Therefore, Joroge contributed 1/6 times the whole fraction, which is 12/12. This will give us 2/12. Joroge contributed a fraction of 2/12. From there, we can add the fraction of both Joroge, Onyango, and Rono. Remember, we found that the fraction of Onyango and Rono is 7/12. When we add Joroge's fraction, which is 2/12, we are going to get a fraction of 9/12. Remember, our whole fraction is 12/12. We are told that 90 shillings was still needed in order to buy the book. For us to search for the remainder of the fraction, which will be represented by 90 shillings, we are going to take the whole fraction, we subtract the fraction of both Onyango, Rono, and Joroge. Therefore, it will be 12/12 minus 9/12. This is going to give us 3/12. This fraction of 3/12 is the fraction which represents the shillings which were needed in order to buy the books which remains. Therefore, 3/12 is equals to 90 shillings. If the fraction of 3/12 is equivalent to 90 shillings, what about the whole fraction, which will give us the total price of the book? In this case, it will be 1 times 90 times 12/3. By 3, 1. By 3, 4. 90 times 4 will give us 360. Therefore, the total price of the book was 360 shillings. Our correct answer is D. The number of children in a town is twice that of women. There are 320 more women than men. If there are 4,360 children, how many men are in the town? Remember, we are told that the number of children is twice that of women. Also, this number of women exceeds the number of men with 320. The number of children is 4,360. Solution. We have men, children, and women. Children, in this case, we are told that they were 4,360. This number of children is twice the number of women. For us to get the number of women, we are going to take the number of children we divide with 2. Therefore, it will be 4,360 we divide with 2. This is going to give us 2,180. Women were 2,180. We are also told that this number of women exceeds the number of men with 320. For us to get the number of men, we are going to get the number of women, we subtract 320. In this case, men will be 2,180 minus 320. 2,180 when we subtract 320 is going to give us 1,860. The number of men who were in the town were 1,860. Our correct answer is A. At a rally, the number of men was 3 times that of women. The children were 357 fewer than women. There were 863 children. How many more men than women attended the rally? Remember, we are told that the number of children was 357 fewer than that of women. The number of men was 3 times the number of women. We can now proceed to solution. People who attended the rally were women, children, and men. We are told that children were 863. Also, these children were 357 fewer than women. For us to get the number of women who attended the rally, we are going to take the number of children, which is 863, we had 357. When we add, we are going to get 1220. Therefore, women who attended the rally were 1220. Men, we are told that they were 3 times the number of women. Therefore, men were 3 times the number of women, which was 1220. We can now search for men. It will be 3 times 1220. This is going to give us 3660. The number of men who attended were 3660. Remember, we are asked how many more men than women attended the rally. Therefore, we are going to take the difference of the men and women. The number of men were 3660, while the number of women were 1220. We are going to subtract 3660. We subtract 1220. When we subtract, we are going to get 0, 4, 4, and 2. Therefore, the difference was 2440. Our correct answer is B. A factory hires men and women workers every week. It hires 5 times as many men as women. Each worker is paid 450 shillings per week. How much money altogether were the workers paid in the week if 51 women were hired? Solution. We are told that the factory hires men and women. In 1 week, it hired 51 women. It also hired 5 times as many men as women. We can now search for the number of men who were hired. It will be 5 times 51 to get the number of men who were hired. This is going to give us 255 men. We are also told that each worker is paid an amount of 450 shillings in 1 week. Therefore, we are going to search for the amount altogether which the workers were paid in that week. Remember, the workers, we have men who were 255 plus women who were 51. This is the total number of workers. 255 plus 51 is going to give us 306. Remember, 306 is the total number of workers. We are told that each worker is paid 450 shillings in a week. Therefore, if one worker is paid 450 shillings, what about the total workers were paid an amount of how much shillings? The total workers were 306. Therefore, we are going to cross multiply. It will be 306 workers times the amount in shillings, which is 450. We divide with 1. When we multiply 306 with 450, we are going to get an amount of 137,000 shillings and 700 shillings. The total amount altogether was 137,000 shillings and 700 shillings. Our correct answer is D. Otieno had 4 shillings more than Juguna. Juguna had 1 shillings and Juma had 1/3 of what Otieno had. They had a total of 100 shillings. Which of the following equations correctly represents the information given? Solution. We have Juguna, Otieno, and Juma. We are told that Juguna had Y shillings. Otieno had 4 shillings more than Juguna. Therefore, Otieno had Y plus 4. Juma, we are told that he had a third of what Otieno had. Therefore, Juma will be 1/3 into brackets Otieno's shillings, which is y plus 4. We can now open our brackets. 1/3 when we multiply with y will give us a third y plus 1/3 times 4. Therefore, 1/3 y plus 4/3. This now is Juma's shillings. We are told that they contributed a total of 100 shillings. The equation, therefore, which can represent the information will be y plus 4 plus a third y plus 4/3 is equals to the total shillings, which is 100. From there, we can collect our like terms together. We have y plus 1/3 y plus 4 plus 4/3 is equals to 100 shillings. Y plus a third y will give us 2 and a third y plus 4 plus 4/3 is equals to 100. Remember this 4 plus 4/3, we can write it as 4/3. In this case, the equation will be 2 1/3 y plus 4/3 is equals to 100. The equation therefore is 2 1/3 y plus 4/3 is equals to 100. Our correct answer is A. During a celebration, there were 90 men present. There were 50 more women than men and twice as many children as adults. What was the total attendance? Remember, we are told that there were 90 men present. Also, the number of women exceeded those of men with 50. The number of children was twice the number of adults. We can now proceed to solution. The celebration was attended by men, women, and children. We are told that the number of men who attended were 90. Women were 50 more the number of men. Therefore, women were 90 plus 50. The number of women who attended were 140. Children, we are told that they were twice the number of adults. Remember, adults here comprise of both men and women. For us to get the number of children who attended the celebration, we are going to take 2 into brackets. We multiply with the number of adults who attended. Therefore, the number of adults was the number of men, which was 90, plus the number of women, which was 140. This 90 plus 140 will give us 230. We are now going to multiply with 2 to get the number of children. 230, when we multiply with 2, we are going to get 460 children. Therefore, men who attended were 90, women who attended were 140, while children who attended the celebration were 460. We are asked the total number of attendants who attended the celebration. For us to get the total attendance, we are going to take the number of men, we had the number of women, and finally we had the number of children. It will be 90 plus 140 plus 460. When we add this, we are going to get 690. Therefore, the total attendance was 690. Our correct answer is D. The length of a rectangle is 2x plus 8 centimeters. The width is x minus 2 centimeters. If the perimeter is 84 centimeters, what is the value of the length? Remember, this is a rectangle and we are told that its perimeter is 84 centimeters. The length is 2x plus 8 while the width is x minus 2. We can first come up with drawing of the rectangle. We are told that the length is 2x plus 8. The width is x minus 2 into brackets. Perimeter here we are told that is 84 centimeters. Remember, perimeter is going round all the way. Therefore, the perimeter is going round a figure. We are told that perimeter of the rectangle is 84 centimeters. Therefore, from this side up to here, up to there, up to there, it's going to give us 84 centimeters. The formula for searching for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into brackets length plus width into brackets. For us to get the actual length, we are going to take the perimeter, which is 84, we equalize with the formula, which is 2 into brackets length plus w into brackets. This is the perimeter we are talking about and it has already been solved. 84 is equals to 2 into brackets length, which is 2x plus 8 plus width, which is x minus 2 into brackets. We can first solve these which are inside the brackets. 2x plus 8 plus x minus 2. We can collect our like terms here. 2x plus x is going to give us 3x plus 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is going to give us 6. Therefore, 3x plus 6 into brackets, we are going to open with 2. 2 when multiplied with 3x will give us 6x plus 2 when multiplied with 6 will give us 12. Therefore, 6x plus 12 is equals to 84. We want to search for the value of x. Remember, 6x plus 12 is equals to the perimeter, which is 84. For us to search for the value of x, we are going to remain with 6x in one side and we take 12 to the other side. This 12 has an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will change to be minus 12. 6x is equals to 84 minus 12. 6x is equals to 72. For us to search for x, we are going to divide both sides with 6. The value of x is equals to 72 divided with 6, which is equals to 12. We are asked the value of the length, and the length is represented by the expression which is 2x plus 8. Remember, we have searched for the value of x. Therefore, it will be 2 into brackets the value of x, which is 12 plus 8. When we open our brackets, 2 times 12 will give us 24 plus 8. 24 plus 8 will give us 32 centimeters. Therefore, our length is 32 centimeters. Our correct answer is B. Jerry scored a total of 171 marks in mathematics, Kiswahili and English tests. The score in mathematics was twice that of Kiswahili and that of English was 3 marks more than that of Kiswahili. If the score for English was x, which one of the equations below should be used to find the value of x? Remember, we are told that the score for English was x. Also, the score for English was 3 marks more than that of Kiswahili. The score for mathematics was twice that of Kiswahili. We can now proceed to solution. The subjects which we have English, Kiswahili and mathematics. The total marks was 171. We are told that in English is scored X. Also, the marks which is scored in English was 3 more than the marks which is scored in Kiswahili. For us to get the marks is scored in Kiswahili, we are going to get the marks in English, which is X minus 3. In mathematics, we are told that is scored twice the number of marks is scored in Kiswahili. Therefore, we can search for the score which is scored in mathematics. It will be 2 into brackets X minus 3. We can open our brackets. 2 times X will give us 2X minus 2 times 3 will give us 6. The score which is scored in mathematics was 2X minus 6. We are asked the equation which should be used to find for the value of X. Remember, when we want to search for the value of X, we are going to take the equations which represent the scores in the 3 subjects. We equalize with the total number of marks, which is the actual one. In this case, we have X plus X minus 3 plus 2X minus 6. Remember, this is the marks which is scored in English, this is scored in Kiswahili, and this is scored in mathematics. Therefore, we are going to equalize with the actual number of marks, which is 171. We can now combine the equations. X plus X minus 3 plus 2X minus 6 is equals to 171. We have like terms here. We can now collect the like terms together. X plus X plus 2X minus 3 minus 6 is equals to 171. X plus 2X will give us 4X minus 3 minus 6 is equals to 171. Remember, this is a debt of 3 shillings, and when you add another debt of 6 shillings, we are going to get a debt of 9 shillings. Therefore, 4X minus 9 is equals to 171. The equation which can be used to find for the value of X is 4X minus 9 is equals to 171. Our correct answer is 4X minus 9 is equals to 171. The correct choice is A. 3 factories, Buka, Sakono and Rama, produce sugar in 100 kilogram bags daily. Buka produces 3 times as much as Rama. Sakono produced 2 times as much as Rama. If Sakono produced 500 bags, how many tons altogether do the 3 factories produce daily? Remember, we are told that Sakono produced 2 times as much as Rama. Buka in this case produced 3 times as much as Rama. We can now proceed to solution. The factories we have Buka, Sakono and Rama. We are told that Sakono produced 500 bags. Also, Sakono produced 2 times as much as Rama. For us to get the number of bags produced by Rama, we are going to take 500, which was for Sakono, we divide with 2. Therefore, Rama produced 250 bags. Also, Buka produced 3 times the number of bags produced by Rama. In this case, Buka's bags will be 3 times the number of Rama's bags, which is 250. This is going to give us 750 bags. In this case, Buka produced 750 bags. We can now take the total number of bags which the three factories produced. It will be 750 plus 500 plus 250. This is going to give us 1,500 bags. We are also told that one bag was 100 kgs. If one bag was 100 kilograms, what about the total number of bags, which is 1,500 bags? We are going to cross multiply. It will be 1,500 times 100 over 1. This is going to give us 150,000 kilograms of bags. Therefore, we are asked the total number of tons they produced. Remember, 1 ton is the same as 1,000 kgs. If 1 ton is equivalent to 1,000 kgs, what about 150,000 kilograms will be equivalent to how many tons? We are going to cross multiply. 150,000 times 1 over 1,000. The 3 zeros will cancel with the 3 zeros. Therefore, it will be 150 tons. The total tons the three factories produced was 150. Our correct answer is 150 and the correct choice is C. In a function, the number of women was twice that of men. The number of children was half the total number of men and women. The function was attended by 270 people. How many children attended the function? Our key area, we are told that the number of women was twice that of men. The number of children was half the total number of men and women. We can now proceed to solution. People who attended the function, we have women, men, and children. Since we are told that the number of women was twice that of men, we are going to say that let men be represented with X for us to come with an equation. Women were twice the number of men. Therefore, women were 2 into brackets X. This will give us 2X. Children, we are told that was half the total number of women and men. For us to get the number of children, we are first going to get the sum of women and men, then we divide with 2. Women were 2x and men were x. This will give us 3x. A half of 3x. When we open our brackets, it will give us a half times 3x, which is the same as 3 over 2x. Remember, we are told that the total number of people who attended the function was 270. We are also asked the number of children who attended the function. For us to get the actual number, we are first going to take the total equation, then we equalize with the actual number of the people. Therefore, it will be 2x plus x plus 3 over 2x is equals to 270, which is the total number of people. We can collect our like terms together. 2x plus x plus 3 over 2x is equals to 270. 2x plus x will give us 3x plus 3 over 2x is equals to 270. We can add 3x plus 3 over 2x. Therefore, 3x over 1 plus 3 over 2x. The LCM here is 2. 2 when we divide with 1 will give us 2, and when we multiply with 3x will give us 6x. Plus 2 when we divide with 2 will give us 1, and when we multiply with 3x will give us 3x. 6x plus 3x will give us 9 over 2x. In this case, 9 over 2x is equals to the total number of people, which is 270. Since we want to search for the value of x, for us to remain with x, we are going to multiply both sides with the reciprocal of 9 over 2, which is 2 over 9. By 9, 1, by 9, 1, by 2, 1, by 2, 1. X is equals to by 9, 1, by 9, 30. X therefore is equals to 30 times 2. The value of x is equals to 60. Remember, the children who attended the function were 3 over 2x. For us to get the actual number of children, we are going to take 3 over 2 into brackets the value of x, which is 60. We can now open our brackets. 3 over 2 times 60. By 2, 1, by 2, 30. Therefore, children were 3 times 30 to give us 90. The number of children who attended the function were 90 children. Our correct answer is A. The length of a rectangle is represented by the expression 2x plus 8 into brackets centimeters, and its width by the expression x minus 6 centimeters into brackets. If the perimeter is 58 centimeters, what is the actual length of the rectangle? Remember, we are told that the length is represented by the expression 2x plus 8 into brackets, and the width is x minus 6 into brackets. The perimeter is 58 centimeters. We can now proceed to solution. We can first come up with that rectangle. The length we are told that is 2x plus 8 into brackets. The width is x minus 6 into brackets. Perimeter in this case is equals to 58 centimeters. Therefore, the formula for finding perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into brackets length plus width into brackets. In this case, we can first search for the perimeter of the rectangle. Remember, we are given the perimeter. Therefore, 58 is equals to 2 into brackets the expression of the length, which is 2x plus 8 plus the expression of the width, which is x minus 6 into brackets. From there, we can first solve the ones which are inside the brackets. 2x plus 8 plus x minus 6 into brackets. We can collect our like terms together. 2x plus x plus 8 minus 6 into brackets into 2. 2x plus x will give us 3x plus 8 minus 6 will give us 2 into brackets. We can now open our brackets. It will be 2 into 3x plus 2. When we open the brackets, 2 times 3x will give us 6x plus 2 times 2 to give us 4. Therefore, 58, which is the perimeter of the rectangle, is the same as 6x plus 4. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. We are going to remain with 6x in one side and we take 4 to the next side. This 4 carries an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 4. Therefore, 58 minus 4 is equals to 6x. 58 minus 4 will give us 54. 54 is equals to 6x. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide both sides with 6. Our x is equals to 9. Remember, we are asked the actual length of the rectangle. The expression which represents the length of the rectangle is 2x plus 8. Remember, we have searched for the value of x. Therefore, it will be 2 into brackets x, which is 9 plus 8. When we open our brackets, 2 times 9 will give us 18 plus 8. Therefore, 18 plus 8 will give us 26 centimeters. The actual length is 26 centimeters. Our correct answer is 26 and the correct choice is C. 3 pupils, Furaha, Gitai and Komen, contributed a total of 400 shillings for a party. Furaha contributed 30 shillings more than Gitai, while Komen contributed 3 times as much as Furaha. If Komen contributed X shillings, which one of the following equations can be used to find Komen's contribution? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Komen contributed X shillings. Also, this Komen's contribution was 3 times the contribution of Furaha. Furaha's contribution was 30 shillings more than that of Gitai. We can now proceed to solution. We have Komen, Furaha and Gitai. We are told that Komen contributed X shillings. This Komen's contribution was 3 times that of Furaha. Therefore, for us to get Furaha's contribution, we are going to get Komen's contribution, which is X, we divide with 3. This is going to give us a third X. Also, Furaha contributed 30 shillings more than Gitai. For us to get Gitai's contribution, we are going to get Furaha's contribution, we subtract 30. In this case, it will be 1 over 3 x minus 30. This now will be Gitai's contribution. We can now arrange the equations as follows. We have Komen who contributed X shillings. We have Furaha who contributed a third X shillings, and we have Gitai who contributed 1 over 3 x minus 30. We are asked the equation which can be used to find Komen's contribution. Remember, they contributed a total amount of 400 shillings. Therefore, we are going to take their contribution, we equalize with the amount in shillings. It will be x plus 1 over 3 x plus 1 over 3 x minus 30 is equals to 400 shillings. In this case, we can first add 1 over 3 x plus 1 over 3 x. This is going to give us 2 over 3 x. We can also add with x. 2 over 3x plus x is going to give us 2 over 3x minus 30 is equals to the total amount of contribution, which was 400. Therefore, the equation will be 2 over 3x minus 30 is equals to 400. Our correct answer is 2 over 3x minus 30 is equals to 400. Our correct choice is B. In the triangle below EFG, line EF is equals to EG. Angle EFG is equals to 4x degrees and angle EGH is equals to 5x degrees. What is the value of angle FEG? We can first look at the triangle below. This triangle is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has two lines which are equal. It also has two angles which are equal. In our case, EF is the same as EG. Therefore, line EF is the same as EG. Angle EFG is the same as EGF. Therefore, this angle is the same as this angle. In our case, this will be 4x degrees. From there, we can proceed now to solution. We have this straight line here. We can conclude that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, 4x degrees plus 5x degrees should give us 180 degrees. Remember, this is the angle we are talking about, where we have 4x and 5x. This angle should give us a total of 180 degrees. We can now proceed to search for the value of x. 4x plus 5x is equals to 180 degrees. 4x, when we add 5x, we are going to get 9x is equals to 180 degrees. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide with 9 both sides. Our x is equals to 20 degrees. From there, we can proceed now to search for the value of the angles. Our angle EFG is 4x degrees. Therefore, it will be 4 into brackets x. 4 into 20. This is going to give us 80 degrees. This angle is the same as this angle. Therefore, this is 80 degrees and this angle as well is 80 degrees. From there, angles on a triangle add up to 180 degrees. These are the interior angles we are talking about. This angle plus this angle plus this angle should give us a sum of 180 degrees. We can now proceed to search for the value of FEG. Remember, this angle is 80 degrees and this one is 80 degrees. We can now search for angle FEG. It will be 80 degrees plus 80 degrees plus x should give us 180 degrees. Remember, this x is this angle which we don't know the value of it. 80 plus 80 will give us 160 plus x is equals to 180. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to remain with x on our side and we take 160 to the other side. This 160 carries an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 160. Therefore, 180 minus 160. X is equals to 20 degrees. Angle FEG is equals to 20 degrees. Our correct answer is A. Sarah bought pawpaws, oranges, and mangoes. The number of pawpaws bought was 8 more than the number of oranges. The number of mangoes was twice the total number of oranges and pawpaws. The total number of fruits bought was 48. If the number of oranges was x, which one of the following equations below can be used to find the number of oranges bought? We can first look at our key areas. We are told that the number of oranges was X. The number of pawpaws was 8 more than the number of oranges. Mangoes was twice the total number of oranges and pawpaws. We can proceed now to solution. The fruits which were bought were oranges, pawpaws, and mangoes. He bought X oranges. Pawpaws were 8 more than the number of oranges. Therefore, pawpaws were X plus 8. The number of mangoes was twice the total number of pawpaws and oranges. Therefore, mangoes was twice the total number of oranges and pawpaws. For us to get mangoes, we are first going to take the sum of oranges and pawpaws, then we multiply with 2. In this case, oranges were X and pawpaws were X plus 8. We can first add. X plus 8 will give us 2X plus 8. This now is the total number of oranges and pawpaws. Remember, mangoes were twice this number. We can open our brackets to get the number of mangoes. This will give us 2 times 2x to give us 4x plus 2 times 8 to give us 16. Mangoes in this case were 4x plus 16. Remember, the total number of oranges was 48. We are asked the equation. For us to get the equation, we are going to combine the number of oranges they bought, then we equalize with the total number of oranges. It will be x plus 8 plus 4x plus 16 is equals to 48. In this case, we can now collect our like terms together. We have x plus 4x plus 8 plus 16 will give us 48. X plus 4x will give us 6x plus 8 plus 16 is equals to 48. 8 plus 16 will give us 24. Therefore, it will be 6x plus 24 is equals to 48. This now is the equation which is used to represent the number of oranges bought. Our answer is 6x plus 24 is equals to 48, and our correct choice is C. 4 children bought 53 oranges all together. Nekoye bought X oranges and Kamau bought 9 oranges more than Nekoye. Fatuma bought twice as many oranges as Nekoye bought. Atieno bought as many oranges as both Kamau and Fatuma bought. Which one of the following equations can be used to find the number of oranges Nekoye bought? We can first look at our key areas. We are told that Nekoye bought X oranges. Kamau bought 9 oranges more than Nekoye. Fatuma bought twice as many oranges Nekoye bought, while Atieno bought as many oranges as both Kamau and Fatuma. We can now proceed to solution. We have Nekoye, Kamau, Fatuma, and Atieno. Nekoye bought X oranges. Kamau bought 9 oranges more than Nekoye. Therefore, Kamau bought X plus 9. Fatuma bought twice oranges, the number of Nekoye. Fatuma in this case bought 2 into brackets the number of oranges which were bought by Nekoye. This is going to give us 2x. Atieno bought many oranges as both Kamau and Fatuma. For us to get Atieno's oranges, we are going to take the sum of oranges bought by Kamau and Fatuma. Kamau bought X plus 9. Fatuma bought 2 eggs. We can now combine them. X plus 2x plus 9. This is going to give us 3x plus 9. Therefore, Atieno bought 3x plus 9 oranges. We can arrange them as follows. We have Nekoye who bought x oranges. We have Kamau who bought x plus 9 oranges. Fatuma who bought 2x oranges, and Atieno who bought 3x plus 9 oranges. We are asked the total equation which can represent the number of oranges they bought all together. Remember, the total oranges was 53 oranges. The equation, therefore, we are going to arrange the oranges which were bought by 4 of them, then we equalize with the total number of oranges bought. It will be x plus 9 plus 2x plus 3x plus 9. We can now combine our like terms together. Remember, this equation is going to give us 53 oranges. We have x plus 2x plus 3x plus 9 plus 9 is going to give us 53 oranges. X plus 2x plus 3x will give us 7x plus 9 is equals to 53. 9 plus 9 will give us 18. Therefore, 7x plus 18 is equals to 53. The equation which can show us the number of oranges which Nekoye, Fatuma, and Kamau bought is 7x plus 18 is equals to 53. Our correct answer is D. A youth group organized a film show to raise funds. 280 men attended the film. The number of women who attended was half the number of men, while the number of youths was 3 times the number of both men and women. The charges were 50 shillings per adult and 20 shillings per youth. How much money was raised all together? We can first look at our key areas. We are told that the number of men was 280. The number of women was half that of men, and the number of children was 3 times the number of both men and women. Remember, that was the number of youths, which was 3 times the number of both men and women. We can now proceed to solution. We have men, women, and youth. We are told that the number of men was 280. The number of women was half the number of men. Therefore, the number of women was 280 divided by 2 to give us 140. The number of youths, we are told, was 3 times the total number of adults, which is 280 men plus 140 women. Therefore, youth was 3 into brackets 280 plus 140 will give us 420. When we open our brackets, it will be 3 times 420. Therefore, youths was 1260. From there, we are told that adults were to contribute each 50 shillings. Youths were to contribute each 20 shillings. We are now asked the total contribution all together. Remember, our adults comprise of men and women. Therefore, the number of adults was 280, which is men, plus 140, which is women, to give us 420 handouts. Handouts were 420 in total. Youth were 1,260 in total. We can now proceed to search for the contribution. One handout was to contribute 50 shillings. If one handout contributed 50 shillings, what about 420 handouts? We cross multiply. It will be 420 times 50 over 1. This is going to give us 21,000. We can now proceed to search for the contribution of youths. We are told that one youth contributed 20 shillings. The total number of youths were 1,260. Therefore, we are going to cross multiply. It will be 1,260 times 20 over 1, which is going to give us 25,200. We can now combine them. We have 25,200 plus the contribution of handouts, which was 21,000. When we add, we are going to get 0, 0, 2, 5 plus 1 to give us 6, 2 plus 2 to give us 4. The total contribution was 46,200 shillings. Our answer is A. The number of women passengers in her bus was W. The number of children in a bus was 3 times that of men passengers, but 6 more than that of women. Which one of the following expression shows the total number of passengers in the bus? We can look at our key areas first. We are told that the number of women was W. The number of children was 3 times that of men, but was 6 more than that of women. Solution. We are first going to come up with an equation. We are told that we had women passengers, men passengers, and children passengers. Women were W. The number of children was 6 more the number of women. Therefore, the number of children will be W plus 6. The number of children was 3 times that of men. For us to get the number of men, we are going to get the number of children we divide with 3. Therefore, it will be W plus 6 divided with 3. It will give us 1 over 3 W plus 2. We can now arrange them as follows. Women were represented with W, children were represented with W plus 6, while men were represented with a third W plus 2. We are asked the total number of passengers. For us to get the total number of passengers, we are going to add women plus children, which is W plus 6 plus a third W plus 2. Our next step will be collecting like terms together. We have W plus a third W. Therefore, it will be W plus a third W plus 6 plus 2. W plus W will give us 2W. 2W plus a third W plus 6 plus 2 will give us 8. Therefore, it will be 2 and a third W plus 8. Our equation of the total number of passengers will be 2 and a third W plus 8. Our correct answer is A. Kamau, Wasike, and Omolo sell newspapers. One day, Omolo sold 20 newspapers more than Wasike. Wasike also sold 10 newspapers more than Kamau. The total number of newspapers they sold that day was 140. If Wasike sold Y newspapers, which one of the following equations can be used to find the number of newspapers sold by Wasike? Solution. We are first going to look at the key areas. We are told that Wasike sold Y newspapers. Omolo sold 20 newspapers more than Wasike. Also, Wasike sold 10 newspapers more than Kamau. We can now proceed to solution. In our case, we have Kamau, Wasike, and Omolo. We are told that Wasike sold Y newspapers. Omolo sold 20 newspapers more than Wasike. Therefore, Omolo sold the newspapers which were sold by Wasike, which is Y plus 20. Also, Wasike sold 10 more newspapers than Kamau. For us to get the newspapers which Kamau sold, we are going to take the newspapers which were sold by Wasike, which is Y, we less 10. Therefore, the three of them sold the newspapers as follows. Wasike sold Y newspapers, Omolo sold Y plus 20 newspapers, and Kamau sold Y minus 10 newspapers. We are asked the equation which can represent the number of newspapers which were sold by the three of them. For us to get the equation, we are going to arrange the newspapers they sold, then we equalize with the total number of newspapers. Therefore, it will be Y plus 20 plus Y minus 10 is equals to 140, which is the total number of newspapers. From there, we can collect our like terms together. We have Y plus Y plus Y. That is going to give us 3Y plus 20 minus 10 is equals to 140 newspapers. 20, when we subtract 10, we are going to get 10. Therefore, it will be 3Y plus 10 is equals to 140 newspapers. Our equation, therefore, will be 3Y plus 10 is equals to 140 newspapers. Our correct answer is A. There were men in her bus. The number of children in the bus was 3 times that of men, but 11 more than that of women. The total number of women, men, and children in the bus was 45. Which one of the equations below can be used to find the number of men that were in the bus? Solution. People who were in the bus, we had men, children, and women. We are told that the men are represented with M. Children in this case were 3 times the number of men. Therefore, children were 3M. The number of women in this case was 11 less than the number of children. Therefore, for us to get the number of women, we are going to take the number of children, which is 3M, we subtract 11. In this case, the number of women will be 3M minus 11. We are asked the equation which can be used to represent the number of men in the bus. The total number of people was 45 people. For us to search for the equation, we are going to combine the 3 expressions. It will be M, which represents men, plus 3M, which represents children, plus 3M minus 11 should give us 45 people. We can now collect our like terms together. It will be M plus 3M plus 3M minus 11 should give us 45. Hem plus 3hem plus 3hem will give us 7hem minus 11 is equals to 45. Remember the equation which can be used to represent the number of men will be 7hem minus 11 is equals to 45. Our correct answer is D. Ahmed earns 560,500 shillings per year. Holo earns 3 times as much as Alice. Alice earns twice as much as Ahmed. How much money altogether do they all earn in a year? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Alice earns twice the amount which is earned by Ahmed. Holo earns 3 times as much as Alice. We can now proceed to solution. We have Ahmed, Alice, and Holo. Ahmed, in this case, he earns 560,500 shillings. Alice earns twice the amount which is earned by Ahmed. Therefore, Alice will be 2 into brackets the amount of Ahmed, which is 560,500 shillings. When we open our brackets, it will be 2 times 560,500 shillings. This is going to give us a total of 1,121,000 shillings. This is now the amount which is earned by Alice. We can now proceed to search for the amount which is earned by Holo. Holo, we are told that he earns 3 times the amount which is earned by Alice. Therefore, Holo earns 3 into brackets 1,121,000 shillings. In this case, he earns a total of 3,363,000 shillings. We can now proceed to search for their total earnings in a year all together. It will be the amount earned by Ahmed plus the amount earned by Alice plus the amount earned by Holo. Therefore, it will be 560,500 shillings plus 1,121,000 shillings plus 3,363,000 shillings. When we add them, we are going to get a total of 5,044,000 shillings and 500 shillings. Therefore, the total amount all together will be 5,044,000 shillings and 500 shillings only. In this case, our correct answer is D. Mwende had mangoes. She had 5 and shared the remaining among her 6 friends. She, however, found that she needed 2 more mangoes if each of the friends was to get 4 mangoes. How many mangoes had she at the beginning? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Mwende had mangoes which you don't know they were how many. She first had 5. Then she decided to share the mangoes to her 6 friends. She found that she needed 2 more mangoes if each friend was to get 4 mangoes. Solution. Mwende in this case had mangoes which we don't know they were how many. She first had 5 mangoes. Then she proceeded to give her 6 friends some mangoes. Remember the 6 friends, he wanted them to get each 4 mangoes. If one friend was to get 4 mangoes, what about the 6 friends? They were to get a total of how many mangoes? It it will be 6 times 4 mangoes. This is going to give us a total of 24 mangoes. We are told that when she decided to give the friends the mangoes, she found that she needed 2 more mangoes. These 2 more mangoes, she needed them in order each friend to get 4 mangoes. Remember, if each friend was to get 4 mangoes, the total number of mangoes Mwende should have given the friends were to be 24 mangoes. In this case, Mwende had 24 minus the 2 mangoes which she lacked for each friend to get 4 mangoes. 24 minus 2 will give us 22 mangoes. We are asked the number of mangoes Mwende had at the beginning. Remember, Mwende had 5 mangoes. Then finally she decided to give the rest to the friends. Therefore, at the beginning, Mwende had 5 mangoes plus the 22 mangoes which she had, and she lacked 2 mangoes in order the friends to get 4 mangoes each. Therefore, at the beginning, Mwende had 5 plus 22 mangoes, which will give us 27 mangoes. Our correct answer is B. Pupils in classes 5, 6, 7, and 8 were to raise funds for a party. Class 7 raised X shillings while Class 5 raised a third of what Class 7 raised. Class 6 raised 100 shillings less than the total amount raised by both Class 5 and 7. Class 8 raised 200 shillings more than that of Class 7. If the total amount raised was 6,900 shillings, which one of the following equations can be used to find the amount raised by each class? We can first look at the key areas. We are told that Class 7 raised X shillings. Class 5 raised a third of what Class 7 raised. Class 6 raised 100 shillings less than the total amount raised by both Class 5 and 7. Class 8 raised 200 shillings more than that of Class 7. We can now proceed to solution. The classes were Class 7, 5, 6, and 8. We are told that Class 7 raised X shillings. Class 5 raised a third of what Class 7 raised. Therefore, Class 5 raised a third X. Class 6 raised 100 shillings less than the total of Class 7 and 5. For us to get the contribution of Class 6, we are going to first to take the sum of Class 7 and 5. Therefore, it will be X plus a third X minus 100. Class 6 contributed 1 and a third X minus 100. We are told that Class 8 contributed 200 shillings more than Class 7. For us to get Class 8's contribution, it will be the contribution of Class 7, which is X plus 200. Therefore, Class 8 contributed X plus 200. From there, we can combine our expressions to come up with an equation. It will be X, which is for Class 7. Class 8 contributed X plus 200, while Class 6 contributed 1 and a third X minus 100, and finally Class 5 contributed a third X. We can now combine the 4 expressions. It will be X plus a third X plus 1 and a third X minus 100 plus x plus 200 should give us a total of 6,900 shillings. We can now combine our like terms together. X plus 1 and a third x plus a third x plus x will give us 2/3 x minus 100 plus 200 is equals to 6,900 shillings. Let's assume this is a debt of 100 shillings and you have 200 shillings. We are going to pay the debt of 100 shillings and to remain with 100 shillings. Therefore, it will be 2/3 x plus 100 is equals to 6,900 shillings. The equation will be 2/3 x plus 100 is equals to 6,900 shillings. Our correct answer is D. At a sports meeting, the number of men was 200. The number of girls was 3 times that of men and 120 more than that of women. The number of boys was 30 more than that of girls. What was the total number of people at the meeting? Solution. The sports meeting was attended by men, girls, women, and boys. The number of men who attended were 200. The number of girls were 3 times the number of men. Therefore, the number of girls were 3 times 200. This is going to give us 600. The number of women in this case, we are told that were 120 less the number of girls. Therefore, for us to get the number of women, we are going to take the number of girls, which is 600. We subtract 120. This is going to give us 480. The number of women were 480. The number of boys, we are told that were 30 more the number of girls. For us to get the number of boys, we are going to take the number of girls, which is 600. We had 30. Therefore, the number of boys was 600 plus 30 to give us 630. Boys in this case were 630. We are asked the total number of people at the meeting. The total number of people will be the sum of number of men plus number of girls plus number of women plus number of boys. Number of men were 200 plus number of girls, which were 600, plus number of women, which was 480, plus the number of boys, which is 630. When we add them together, we are going to get a total of 1,910 people. Therefore, the total number of people at the meeting was 1,910. Our correct answer is C. The perimeter of a rectangle is 24 centimeters. The length of the rectangle is 2 centimeters more than the width. What is the area of the rectangle? Remember here where we are told that the length is 2 centimeters more than the width, we are going to take the value of the width we had 2 centimeters. We can now proceed to solution. Our first step will be coming up with a figure to represent the rectangle. The perimeter which is going around this figure is 24 centimeters. We are told that the length here is 2 centimeters more than width. Therefore, we are going to come up with the measurement of width and length. We don't have the value of width. Therefore, we can say let width be represented with x centimeters. In this case, length is 2 centimeters more than width. Therefore, our length will be the value of width, which is x plus 2. From there, since we have searched for the expressions to represent width and length, we can now proceed to search for the perimeter for us to search for the actual measurements of length and width. The formula for searching perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into brackets length plus width. In this case, we have searched for the expressions which will represent the length and width. In this case, 24, which is the perimeter, is equivalent to 2 into brackets length, which is x, plus 2 plus width, which is x. We can now open our brackets. 24 is equivalent to 2 into brackets x plus 2 plus x. We can first add the ones which are inside the brackets. X plus 2 into brackets into 2. X plus x will give us 2x plus 2 into brackets. We can now open it. 2 times 2x will give us 4x plus 2 times 2 will give us 4. Therefore, 24 is equivalent to 4x plus 4. Since we want to search for the value of x, we are going to remain with 4x in one side and we take 4 to the next side. This 4 has an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will change to be minus 4. Therefore, 24 minus 4 is equals to 4x. 24 minus 4 will give us 20 is equals to 4x. We are going to divide with 4 both sides to remain with x. X is equals to 20 divided with 4 to give us 5. Therefore, our width, which is x, is equals to 5. We are told that the length is represented with x plus 2. Length will be the value of x, which is 5 plus 2. Length is the same as 7. We are asked the area of the rectangle. The formula for searching for the area of a rectangle is length times width. Since we have searched for the actual measurements of length and width, we are going to say that the area of the rectangle will be length, which is 7, times width, which is 5. 7 times 5 is going to give us 35 centimeters squared. Therefore, the area of the rectangle is 35 centimeters squared. Our correct answer is C. A football match was attended by 42,000 men. The number of women who attended was 27,000 less than the number of men and 12,000 more than the number of children. The entrance fee for adults was 100 shillings and for children was 50 shillings. How much money was collected all together? We can proceed to solution. The people who attended the football match were men, women, and children. We are told that the total number of men was 42,000. The number of women was 27,000 less the number of men. Therefore, for us to get the number of women, we are going to take the number of men, which is 42,000, we subtract 27,000. When we subtract, we are going to get that the number of women were 15,000. Children, in this case, we are told that were 12,000 less the number of women. For us to get the number of children, we are going to take the number of women, we subtract 12,000. Therefore, the number of children will be 15,000 minus 12,000. This is going to give us 3,000. The number of children were 3,000. We are told that each adult paid 100 shillings as an entrance, and each child paid 50 shillings. From there, we can search for the total amount which was paid by the adults and the children. Remember, adults here are the combination of both men and women. In this case, men were 42,000 and women were 15,000. 42,000 plus 15,000 is going to give us a sum of 57,000. This is the total number of adults. One adult paid an entrance fee of 100 shillings. If one adult paid 100 shillings, what about the total number of adults, which is 57,000? Therefore, we are going to cross multiply 57,000 times 100. We are going to get 5,700,000 shillings. This was the amount paid by adults. We can now proceed to search for the amount paid by children. One child paid 50 shillings, and the total number of children was 3,000. Therefore, for us to get the amount paid by children, we are going to cross multiply. It will be 3,000 times 50. This is going to give us a sum of 150,000. Remember, we are asked the total amount which was collected all together. It will be the amount of adults, which is 5,700,000 shillings, plus the amount of children, which is 150,000. When we add them together, we are going to get a total of 5,850,000. This was the total amount which was collected. Our correct answer is D. Molly obtained a total score of 180 marks in English, mathematics, and science. His score in English was half the score obtained in mathematics. The score in mathematics was 10 more than the score obtained in science. If the score obtained in science is represented by x, which one of the following equations below can be used to get the value of x? We can first look at the key areas. Let the score of science be represented with x. The score of mathematics in this case is 10 more than the score of science. The score in English is half the score obtained in mathematics. We can now proceed to solution. The subjects were English, mathematics, and science. Let the score of science be represented with x. The score of mathematics was 10 more than the score of science. Therefore, the score of mathematics will be the score of science, which is x. We had 10. The score of English, we are told that is half the score of mathematics, which is x plus 10. We can now proceed to search for the score of English. When we open our brackets, it will be a half x plus a half times 10, which is going to give us 5. Therefore, the score of English was a half x plus 5. Remember, the total marks was 180. We want to come up with an equation which can represent the scores of the three subjects. Therefore, we are going to combine the three expressions of the three subjects. Remember, science was represented with x, mathematics was represented with x plus 10, while English is represented with a half x plus 5. We can now combine our expressions. it will be x plus 10 plus half x plus 5 will give us a total of 180 marks. From there, we can collect our like terms together. We have x plus half x. Therefore, it will be x plus half x plus 10 plus 5 should give us 180 marks. X plus half x will give us 2.5 x plus 10 plus 5 will give us 15 is equals to 180 marks. In this case, the equation which can be used to represent the three subjects will be 2.5 x plus 15 is equals to 180 marks. Our correct answer is A. What is the value of x in the equation x plus 3 into brackets x plus 3 is equals to 23? Solution. Our first step, we are going to open the brackets. Remember, this is the brackets we are talking about. We can now proceed as follows. X plus 3 into brackets x plus 3 is equals to 23. We can now open this bracket. 3 into brackets x plus 3 into brackets. 3 times x will give us 3x plus 3 times 3 will give us 9. We can combine our expression as x plus 3x plus 9 is equals to 23. We can now collect the like terms together. We have x and 3x. 3x plus x plus 9 is equals to 23. 3x plus x will give us 4x plus 9 is equals to 23. Remember, we want to search for the value of x. 4x plus 9 is equals to 23. For us to search for the value of x, we are going to remain with 4x in one side and we take 9 to the next side. This 9 carries an addition sign. When it crosses the equal sign, it will be minus 9. Therefore, 4x is equals to 23 minus 9. 4x is equals to 14. We want to search for the value of x. We are going to divide both sides with 4 to remain with x. It will be 4x is equals to 14. We divide both sides with 4. X is equals to 14 divided with 4. We can now divide as follows. 14 we divide with 4. 4 times 3 will give us 12. 14, when we subtract 12, we are going to get a remainder of 2. Therefore, x is equals to 2 over 4. This 2 over 4, we can simplify it by cancelling as follows. By 2, 1, by 2, 2. The value of x is equals to 3.5. Our correct answer is C.